Hello! I thought today we would do an advanced topic in astrology, which is going to center on family charts and how they tend to line up with one another. And so I am not going to explain as much stuff because I want to make different types of points, which is why this is an advanced topic. So if you're more of a beginner, you will understand fewer of the things that I say, most likely. But I mean, I learned by immersion. Maybe you do too. And if you don't, I apologize. I'll be back to the regular fun with astrology later. This is just an advanced topic. So, this is actually my great-grandmother. I am not using names. As you can see, I've removed them. But she was not talked about when I was growing up, almost at all. And when we did touch on her as an entity, and she died before I was born, I just got the impression that she wasn't the nicest person. And I looked her up a while ago, and I saw her birthday was May 24th, and my brain went, she was a Gemini? Like, that didn't fit the description of the woman that I had heard very little about, except for that she wasn't the nicest person. So I pulled up her chart, and you can see why she wasn't the nicest person. When you have your sun conjunct Pluto and Neptune, in order to live your life and do anything, you have to do the sun. And when I see conjunctions like this, I think, okay, the Neptune conjunct Sun, that's going to make you more of a Pisces. The Pluto conjunct Sun, that's going to make you more of a Scorpio. So you read the definitions for Pisces Sun, Gemini Sun, Scorpio Sun, and then try to mash them all together and recognize what's what. Good luck to you. Neptune and Pluto are transpersonal planets. To have even one conjunct your Sun means that you are working with a tremendous amount of energy that you don't necessarily understand, because the Scorpio or the Pluto side is going to give you impulses and emotional depth that you don't get. The Neptune side can either be spiritualizing, or it can make you dissociate, or it can make you somewhat of a fanatic in terms of your belief systems. You can do all of those things at the same time. Good luck to you. And I doubt that this woman had any of the tools to explain why she was the way that she was. We obviously don't have a rising sign for her. I don't have a birth certificate. Her birth time here is at 12, just so that I can know where the moon is. Where's the moon? Scorpio. She couldn't not be intense. There was no relief. The home life was intense. The goals were intense. The sun also has to do with the men in your life. You have intense experiences with men in your life. That's the Pluto part. The Neptune part is the men in your life aren't terribly reliable. I wonder, and I don't know, I wonder if she even had a relationship with her father, because often Sun Neptune people have a father who's missing. Then to even add to that, she has Jupiter and Sagittarius opposing all of this. So that just further blows up this situation. Then her South Node, which has stuff to do with kind of your programming and your behavior and the stuff that you either experience in your early childhood or the behavior that you just did that people reported that at a very young age you were fill in the blank. That's the South Node. It was in Aquarius. And that Aquarius is, again, our transpersonal sign. It's very unegoic. It kind of makes you feel disconnected from human concerns and has more of a focus on the greater good. This woman, I will say, was a politician, and her Aquarius South Node made that make perfect sense. The Leo North Node, that's behavior to move toward, and to have Saturn conjunct the North Node means that there's a lot of potential to develop Saturn type of stuff over the course of your lifetime. So a Leo North Node alone is about finding your passion and discovering your ego and creativity and play. But you combine Saturn with that, and it's probably doing stuff more that you believe in and creating structure around that, and it usually confers administrative type gifts. So she did do that over the course of her life. Now let me add her husband here. And what I want to point out is you can kind of see some reasons that they would get together, but this is not a marriage that lasted. They divorced when divorce was not common. So my great-grandmother was a trailblazer in more ways than one, I guess. So he has an Aries South Node and an Aries Moon for sure. Again, I don't have rising sign or information about him, but likely this moon is pretty close to where it actually was, and I can defend that in a couple of minutes. They have this nice Venus-Jupiter conjunction here that usually lends itself pretty well to relating. His North Node is conjunct her Mars and Uranus combination. And then he also has Uranus pretty close to where his own North Node is. So what I would like you to see here is that there is some Aries Libra going on. And then I want you to see the Aquarius Leo. And Gemini is important, and we'll come back to that in a second. And then there's Sagittarius. I'm going to take him away, and then I'm going to show you my great-grandmother's second child. So this is my great-uncle who you are about to see. Also a Gemini, which I was shocked by. So I do not know very much about my great-uncle at all. So everything was a surprise, basically. But I would like you to see that his South Node and my great-grandmother's South Node are matched up, which means that he was born when my great-grandmother was about 36, because it maybe 36, 37, that is about the time that you have a nodal return. The nodes take 18 and a half years to make their way around your chart in a complete circle. And node situations tend to run in families. So too do sun signs. He is just a straight Gemini, right? There's no Pluto, there's no Neptune. That would be physically impossible. But they are born within several days of each other, and so their sun signs line up, which, anything that happens to her, he's going to be impacted because his sun is in the same place. My sister and I also have this. We have suns very close to each other in degree. I think that is what I wanted to show you with him, although I will mention that there is a Mars-Pluto conjunction, which she's Plutonian, and then these two together, that's an automatic vote for being Plutonian. This moon might have been a little bit closer or farther away to this situation. I might guess that it would be on the closer side, but I honestly don't know, so I won't speculate further. I'll take him away. Here's just her, and now I'm adding my grandfather. Okay, so I want to show you again that there are Libra planets and Aries planets, and that he is a Pisces. So he took some of the Sun Neptune. He kind of took that side. He has his moon is definitely in Sagittarius, and his Mars is in Sagittarius, so there's the Sagittarius repeat. And he has a planet in Leo, but that is generational. Everybody born within several years on this side and more years on this side would have Neptune in Leo. It's a slow-moving planet. But he takes more of his father's. Remember, his father has an Aries moon that is somewhere in the neighborhood of here, and he matches up with his father's south node almost exactly, which again means that he was born at the time that his father was about 36, 37, somewhere in there. And so the interesting thing about this, as I said, my great-grandparents divorced. So I'm showing this as my great-grandfather again. My great-grandparents divorced, and one son went to live with one parent. The Gemini went to live with my great-grandmother, and the Pisces went to live with my great-grandfather. And their node situations match up. So it's not only that there were some planets talking to each other, but my great-grandmother took the one with the Leo North Node, and my great-grandfather took the one with the Libra North Node. And that's wild to me. I doubt that they knew any of this astrological situation, but that is actually what happened. And so South Node, North Node stuff just means that your behavior and your programming kind of matches. So with a Libra North Node, you have to learn to relate to one another and be diplomatic, and usually it's a more peacemaking sign. Although with your Aries South Node, you tend to be more of a loner, more of a fighter, more of a stand up for yourself and then forget that other people exist. You see that a lot with Aries South Nodes of like, what? There are other people with different preferences from me? That's weird. Okay, now I'm taking everybody away, and I'm putting my grandfather back up. So again, we see, remember, he's the Pisces, and he has the Aries South Node. Now I'm going to show you his sun. And I'm only showing you the dead people. I'm not going to show anybody who's alive. But you can once again see his sun, his child, has an Aries Venus, an Aries moon. So that speaks to his own father's Aries Venus and his grandfather's Aries moon that he definitely had. Planets in Libra, but now there is a nodal reversal that kind of runs in the family. So he has an Aquarius North Node and a Leo South Node. So he needs to learn to be more detached rather than very passionate. And he echoes his brother. Remember, his uncle had the Pluto-Mars conjunction. Well, there's a Pluto-Mars square here. And then also they have a matching Cancer planet situation. And so just interestingly, my uncle and my great uncle both died young, and the Pluto-Mars either conjunction or square, it doesn't say you're going to die young or die violently, but it just ups the likelihood that you would do dangerous things or you might be overly confident, or you might have some issues that would cause you to put yourself out there in a way that might not be super safe. My great uncle was a pilot in the Air Force in Vietnam, and my uncle just unfortunately died in a violent situation. So I'll take my uncle away, and I will say that my mother, who I am not going to show you, is also a Sun Pisces, but she has her Sun conjunct Mars, and remember what I said about planets conjunct the Sun, so she is a Pisces, but then you also have to factor in Aries, which Aries, the Aries Libra runs in the family. My mother has a nodal reversal from both of my grandparents, because my grandfather married a woman who was about the same age as him. And so my mother has a Libra North Node, my mother has a Libra South Node and Aries North Node, so she's the reverse from her parents. She has Sagittarius Ascendant. Both of my grandparents, this Mars went retrograde after my grandfather was born. My grandmother also has Mars in Sagittarius. Pretty much, it's 2 degrees off, And so my mom's ascendant is basically right here. And then I will just say that the Aries Libra continues because my sister is Libra rising and I'm Aries rising. And I have planets in Pisces as well, and significant stuff in Sagittarius. And my sister also has a Sagittarius Mars. And so that is just a primer on family astrology and stuff that repeats. And it kind of comes down the line, and I cannot explain why. And if I had birth times for any of these people, I think it would look even more intricate and even closer in terms of the matchups. There would probably be some rising signs that were the same or would match up with somebody else's planets. I see that all the time. But I thought it was cool. I wanted to share. And that's just a little bit about me, oddly, and some family astrology. So I hope you enjoyed this, a little bit more of an advanced topic, and you know where to find me if you have questions. This stuff I really, really love to do, obviously, because you look at family charts and you just kind of can't believe the overlaps and how these charts just seem to talk to each other in a really unique way. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.